Today's Christmas spot, we are having a look at the Diamond Select Toys A Nightmare Before Christmas. This is Santa Jack collectible doll. Taking the tape measure, let's see if we can actually get it up to Jack Skellington here. Not, of course, counting his display stand. The doll stands at 16 inches in height. For some other comparisons as well, let's bring in the regular Jack Skellington. That was the Hot Topic exclusive. We'll slide over Santa Jack. And let's bring in regular Jack Skellington, so you can see the difference between the two. Of course, just for the fact that he has the hat makes him a little bit taller, but it looks like both figures are roughly the same height. Both dolls also seem to share the exact same display stand, which has the long adjustable neck and waist clip that can fit around the figure's waist. In Jack's case, it actually sits a little bit further down if you want to have him properly planted against the display base. It certainly would help him because the lanky nature of the character, of course, he's not going to really stand on his own. And as well, the display stands, I think, add to the certain level of quality to having these displayed. They, again, feel like a more high-end 6-scale figure. Santa Jack comes with one accessory, not really counting, of course, the base. He comes with a Santa's bag, and we've got a little patchwork down below. The material kind of feels like a faux suede, for example, and the inside is just packed with bags, just like stuffing and all that kind of stuff, just to fill out the bag. A drawstring closure, and he can carry it around. I find though that he's not the easiest to carry his sack because there's really nothing. There's these little loops, for example, but the loops are so long that it ends up just draping down his arm. I just move Jack Skellington out of the way here and take Santa Jack. I'll show you what I mean. Just shy, of course, of putting it on both arms and looping it around both ends, like, say, for example, like a knapsack. If you just do it the traditional route of having it like over his arm, it does sit a little, like I said, a little long, a little loose. What you can also do too is you can take the straps and you can put it over his head like this, and just kind of bring his beard up and get everything kind of tucked around so he's at least draping it a little bit more conventionally. But again, he doesn't do it the greatest of ways just because the straps are so long on him. Let's go ahead and take this off. I don't need to spend a lot of time looking at his Santa bag. There we go. And maybe what we'll do also is we'll take him off the display base, put him just down for a second. And if I can actually reach over and grab him, grab regular Jack Skellington. Just move the bases to the side. Just do some quick comparisons between their faces. They are clearly different head sculpts. A more concerned Jack here, representing him for Santa Jack, whereas just a more regular, jovial Jack for the regular release or the Hot Topic release. So head sculpts are completely different. Of course, Santa Jack also has his Santa hat, beard, and the somewhat hair around his head. None of this is actually removable. I kind of like the head sculpt, and I wish that they could have given us extra head sculpts, but I do like this head sculpt. You just can't remove the beard and everything else. For the beard, by the way, it's not quite fur. Like on the underside, you can see it's more like a felt, almost like worm or a felt kind of tube, and then they've put the fur over top of it. It's a nice way to kind of keep everything really relatively dense and not feeling as like, if you just bearded Jack, this part would just feel kind of flimsy and it would get a little whispery and stuff like that. By actually adhering it over top of something else, it keeps the beard, again, keeping its form, and it doesn't lose its shape at all. The rest of his outfit, he has his little Santa hat with pom-pom on the end. We'll just move that up. He's got a Velcro closure for Santa's outfit. A very, very tight belt, because there's really not a lot keeping the outfit on Jack. Still has the long tail for his jacket. It has fur around his wrists and fur around his boots. Regarding the boots themselves, they are a much longer boot than his other former self. The shoes only went up so high on the original Jack or Hot Topic Jack. Here we have much longer boots represented here on Santa Jack. The material for Santa, wanting to say Santa Jack all the time, but the material that they used for him is almost again like a faux suede. It actually is a really nice looking material that they opted with, as well as the seam work and the way everything kind of comes together is done quite well too. Got a little bit of a smudge on the back there and on the top there, but generally really a nice looking outfit on Santa Jack here. Posability on this guy, his head rotates. Basically it's everything that the other Jack Skellington had is also here on Santa Jack, so the arms move outward, forward and back. There's the hinge on the elbow, rotation on the hand, a waist swivel, forward and back motion on the legs, bend at the knee, and not really anything in the feet, but I mean, with all the other articulation that this guy does have, I think you can still get him in some pretty cool looking poses. Again, you can have him walking, you can have his leg bent, for example. He doesn't have the split on the legs. That's about the only thing he doesn't have. But between that and the display stand, I think you can still get Santa Claus, Santa Jack that is, in some pretty neat looking poses. I am a bit disappointed that he couldn't really hold his Santa bag a little bit better, but I really do like the overall look of Santa Jack here. I was really planning on having both Jack Skellington and the Sally, the Hot Topic ones that we looked at in previous videos, as the ones I'm going to be putting out on display. I'm still going to want to put these ones out on display as well, but maybe I'll try to find a very special place for both Santa Jack and Santa or Santa dressed Sally that we will look at in the next video review. These ones really look nice, and I love the presentation of having the extra pop of color. Jack Skellington, of course, being generally a fairly dark looking character, both character-wise and costume-wise. The little pop of red color really does add to the overall look of this particular figure. Again, you've got a really great representation of Jack Skellington. Of course, you can get the smaller, those smaller plastic figures released also by Diamond Select, but I do think this caters itself quite nicely to the higher end collectors out there that are wanting to get high quality pieces for Jack Skellington here, and really some of the other characters from Nightmare Before Christmas. He's a little on the lanky side, yes. Joints seem a little on the loose side in some instances, perhaps, but still he's a great representation of Santa Jack. Today, though, we were having a look at the Diamond Select toys. This was A Nightmare Before Christmas, and this was Santa Jack. If you guys haven't had a chance yet to subscribe to this channel, coming up close, my friends, coming up close to the naughty list. Don't worry, you still have time. You can hit that little subscribe button down below. You'll never miss a video when it comes to future videos. And of course, speaking of future videos, we're going to have some more Christmas related videos coming soon as we have a look at other goodies that you can get under the tree or maybe get for that special someone. As always, guys, thanks for watching as you always do. I'll see you next time.